Goose. There he is. Man, let me tell y'all something. What's up, Wiener? Well, first off, morning everybody. Chad, Doss Farms. Woo! If you're new here, welcome and howdy. If you're old here, welcome and howdy. I'm okay. I just unrolled 300 feet of 6'2" wire and about 400 feet of PEX A. And I'm sweating, man. I'm sweating. I think it's gonna be this hot already. But yeah, this is my lovely wife and my 40 acres in Northeast Oklahoma. We got cattle, pigs, donkeys, chickens, 3 dogs, 3 boys, 3 channels. Always linked down below. I just caught old Gooser here, our mini poodle, a buzzard, while I was working right there. Now buzzards are no threat to chickens when they're alive. Not the redheaded kind, black ones can be, but we don't have any of those here. I'm standing here working and I hear Goose lose his mind, man. And all the chickens ran right back in the coop, just like that. So I've been calling him Gooser since I met him almost 3 years ago. And wouldn't you know it, he's basically a rooster too. He saw that buzzard land in the tree up there and he started barking at it. I mean, I looked over, he's straight up looking up, barking at the tree with the buzzard in it. And all the chickens ran and hid. They were out here eating and drinking. Look at all those chickens. Believe it or not, there's 30 in there somewhere. All right, we got 30-mile-an-hour winds coming today. So let's get talking. Ain't fed a soul yet, but they've got hay, they've got water. The girls are content and happy. They got cubes yesterday. I've set like 5 hydrants, more than I ever want to set again in my life. I'm getting ready to set one of my last ones. There'll be one more going over there. Getting ready to set one of my last ones right here, and it's an inline. So I'll show you what that looks like. This is a little more difficult because it's actually in line. Normally when you set a hydrant, you kind of like you'd put the hydrant right here and the T would come out here and meet the main line. But instead of digging and digging and digging, because I already took the trencher back, I'm just going to set it all in one place, and should be all right. Should be all right. So the first thing you're going to get you is a hydrant. They all come with a 3/4 fitting on the bottom, as far as I can tell. And I need a 2-foot barrier, which means 2 feet of this has got to go in the ground, which will be no problem. Stick this in the hole with it in the bucket. Put the T on so that we can start our next line. Like this is going to connect. That runs all the way to the cows. And obviously I've got a shut off somewhere, or that'd be spilling out, but I've got a shut off up there in a meter box. We don't need anything like that right here inside the 5-gallon bucket. And this is going to be right about there because this has a weep hole. I'm sure you guys have seen these if this ain't your first farming video or homestead and ranching channel, plumbing channel, whatever, man. There she is. So when you shut this off in the winter or the summer, the water runs out of that hole below your frost line and into the ground. That way it doesn't freeze. But in order to make sure that the water runs out, we're going to use a medium like some base rock here. I don't know what this is, 1/2 inch maybe. That way the water can run out. This doesn't freeze. And even if the mud and water freezes like below this, our weep hole will be inside of here. And we're going to pour that in here. I'll show you. It'll make sense. I wish I had somebody to help me, but Miss Ray ran to the store. Case is doing school. The other 2 boys are in school as well. So we'll do the best we can. You know me. I got tripods and GoPros and micro. No, I don't. Listen, if you can't figure it out from the video I'm about to post, you should probably pay somebody, Kyle. All right. This is called a tripod. They won't teach you this in cowboy school. I went ahead and put this together so you can see what it looks like. Now, I don't wrap this because this will be suspended in some base rock, but I'm going to wrap this with some of this poly tape. This is real thick stuff. I think it's like 20 mil. If you want to know what 20 mil is, 3 mil is like what they put under crawl spaces. That plastic wrap to keep the moisture down, but this is 20. Size matters. I wrap this in 20 mil, which protects it. These are safe to bury, but it says, I think if you've got sandy soil or any kind of rocky soil, something like that, you're supposed to cover these with this tape. That's what it's for. They sell some in their own brand, the Shark Bite brand, but it's about 3 times the price. This is like landscapers, like if you got an irrigation system. I'm gonna wrap this, which I've done to every junction connection everything out here, I've done this. 20 milled the T, connected it to our next run, which will go all the way to the garage. Hopefully, I don't think I ran out. We'll see. Gonna be a long day if I did. Connected to the other T, which goes all the way back to them pretty little cows with the horns on their heads. Who's that? Miss Bunny, there's one snoozing. You can see how I've got it elevated on a rock. We're gonna dump some base rock in there until it gets at least above the weep hole. You don't have to go all the way to the top, but I went ahead, this is what I've done on all of them. I went ahead and filled a bucket, so I know I've got enough to fill it. Whoever's idea it was to put straw shavings in here, I appreciate it. 30-mile-an-hour winds all day long, and this is where I'm working. I appreciate it. I was wondering what straw smelled like. Whoop, got a shotgun shell in there. So in case this is your first video, we've also got this 6.2 UFB 6 gauge 2 grounds ultra foiled burial. Made that up, don't Google it. It's 6.2 UFB. It doesn't have to be 2 feet underground. It's made for direct bury. We don't need any screenings. And because we had all this dozed, all this dirt you see out here, it's not quite topsoil, but it's not rocky either. You can see it's a lot of this, which is not gonna that was a leaf. It's not gonna puncture wire. That's all it is. This is real easy digging. So even though it's direct burial, I believe it's got like a fire. That's what the F stands for, foil maybe. And make sure we have enough slack. So this is gonna go into the garage, and it was suggested by our good friend Rob and a couple others to, this has to go over to the fuse box, which is actually the other corner of the garage. But I'm gonna leave enough that we can put, I think it's called a whip. Is that right? We put a whip right here, and that allows us to shut that whole thing off from right here. So kind of like if you go outside and look at your HVAC, there's a shut off right there. The HVAC man doesn't have to go inside and flip the breaker. He can kill it right here. So yeah, that'll be right here. Our main focus for that wire is to have trough heaters so that we can plug in down there. At least 2. We know we can do 3 with extension cords because I did it all winter. So I don't really need the chickens to have power right here. I'm not that coop, I could insulate that coop and make it warmer than what if it had a heat lamp. And by the winter, they'll be feathered out. They're not gonna want a heat lamp anyway. If we want power, I'm a big proponent of solar. You old timers, you gotta hear me out. Ray fed Frosty all winter long. Like 10 weeks at night, freezing cold, negative temperatures, with a DeWalt flashlight that's got like 1,000 lumen beam, and we just aim it at the ceiling. She did it all winter, and that battery lost 1 bar out of a 6-amp battery. So as far as powering something, we may not need power in 24/7. I don't want to waste my real expensive 6.2 wire for chickens. That's what I'm trying to say. Because the same plug that we powered 3 water heaters all winter long is right inside that garage door. And it's only 50 feet to the chicken coop. And it's on its own breaker, it's a 20-amp breaker, so I don't mind an extension cord in the winter for the time being. That's nature, that's how it happens, okay? A lot of you guys do that. I don't want extension cords and hoses all summer and extension cords all winter, all the way to the corral. That's what I don't want, so that's what this solves. But, whew, Finn. Brother, I'll be real honest, buddy. I'll be real honest. I hope this works, man. All right, it's been about an hour. Spider? Nope. Ooh, there he is. Hey, he dead. Did you see what that man did to that poor spider? Here we go. All right, we know we're not leaking there. Finn's gonna get some fresh water. No, I've not put the iron filter on yet. We're gonna put that iron filter, instead of putting it in front of the cow's water, we're gonna put it in front of the pressure tank. So, yeah, it's the same job, just in a different location. But I haven't done it yet. I've made this priority because we've been driving over trenches, extension cords, and hoses for too long. If you wanna check for leaks, you gotta turn the water on. Look out, Phineas. It's so funny though, they know where the best water is. I bet that's good. That's right out of the ground. Now we need to check our newest connections. Here's one of them. So this has had a shut off on it since like mid-February. It's looking pretty good. Now the reason I mentioned that 20 mil tape, I'll have to come up here and do that. That 20 mil tape goes around that and that protects it. These are warranted. These push fittings are warranted up to like, or guaranteed or whatever, up to like 25 years if you wrap them. So if I get 25 years out of these things, by that time I'll be at least 60. And then it's Case's job and Carter's and Adler's. So, and I'll be honest, if something leaks or busts, rather than trying to find a leak, what I'll do is I've got a system of shutoffs. There's a shutoff there. So if I shut that off and the pump to the well house is still running, that means there's a leak somewhere in there, okay? If it stops, that means the leak is from the shutoff to the house. Thought that through. Listen, I'm gonna be real honest. These expired in January. I've already drank, here's one of them. I already drank 3 of them. All right, warming up. Back to our fitting you saw me working on first. And there's no water coming out, so it's gotta be working. And we can turn this on. It won't do much. Come on, baby. It's currently traveling about 300 feet. I can hear it. That's not too bad. Wait, we do want to see water down there. Hang on. We want to make sure it's weeping. There it is. See that? That's the water running out of here. Now I watched Alumna this morning, and I'll be honest, guys, I had no idea that if this goes bad, you can replace the whole thing, all the internals, just by taking this off. You put a pipe wrench here, this unscrews, and you can repair the whole thing. Unless it's like Al's, you have to go watch his video to see what happened. But I'll tell you one thing. I am so thankful that our frost line is about 2 feet, because Mr. Lumna, to replace his hydrant that went bad in the middle of winter, dude, he dug a hole to fix his, to get to the bottom of it. Like if I wanted to remove that 5-gallon bucket, if I needed to service the bottom of that, Al dug a hole that he could fit in, okay? Now, I don't know, it's hard to tell how tall somebody is on camera. I don't think he's 6'4", but even if he's 5 feet, holy cow, man. That had to be 6-7 feet down. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I dug a hole that was 2 feet, and I ain't that tough. One more connection right here. And no, I didn't get mad and shred paper. My 6'2" wire came saran wrapped in paper and tape. That was ridiculous. There has to be a better way to package that. You want to talk about raising your blood pressure. So here's the other connection. And I'm not sure what we're gonna do down here yet. This is overflow or spillover. I don't know what you call it, but basically when they poured the slab or filled the slab, this was extra and it overflowed. Well, dude, let me tell you something, man. I don't know how far down that goes, but that's like 10 inches of concrete. You're not gonna sledgehammer that. Or you can try, but I'm not. I ain't happening. What I wanted was a hydrant right here, and you can see I've already built it. That's it right there. I've already built it. And I wanted to put a hydrant right here, but I would like it tucked back over there. So even if I dig this way, that's a good, gosh, that's probably 24 inches off the house foundation. So I'm not really sure what to do, because if you look, it goes all the way down the house. I mean, it means the house ain't going anywhere. That's for dang sure. Figure something out. I don't know. I'm not sure. We had to come here because this is where the electric's going to go into the house. But I took the trencher back, and I ain't doing it by hand. This may be a later date. get that trencher again. Grandma and Grandpa need to add some water to their property too. And now that they know I know how to do this, we might get like a trencher for a day. I'll go do the trenching at Mom and Dad's and then bring it here for the last part of the day and trench that way and stick us a hydrant like right there. I think that might be the way to go. But I don't really need one right here. I mean, other than we might have a garden someday right there. But we've got a hydrant right there. I mean, if we put one of those, you've seen those giraffe extendable hoses. I mean, we could put one right there and you water the whole garden. But I've been telling you we're gonna have a garden for like 5 years. We still ain't got one, so. All right. Man, I'm gonna be honest, boys and girls. I'm gonna be real honest. I have never said no to my lovely wife. Actually, currently that's not true. I'm saying no to emus because I don't want to lose an eyeball. Ray has no fear, right? She's like 5'4", emus are 6'4". Whose eyeballs are they gonna peck out, hers or mine? You know what I'm saying? Moment of truth. Ray wanted water by the coop. I got it all buttoned up. I got the troughs topped off up there. And just for the record, the water comes out of the well house and goes about 200 feet down, picking up a gravitational pull. It's like a plane and a Chinook. Hang on a minute. Never mind. I was way off. It had kind of a raspy tone to it. I need that. That's more like the Canadian Air Force. Just kidding. Everyone knows the Canadian Air Force is geese. I knew I heard one. Here he is about 15 minutes later. He just turned away from that little, maybe civilian chopper, or it could have been a medical chopper. I don't know. It was awfully high. All right, if you're still with me, remember I'm funny. But we've got about 200 feet downhill, 100 feet uphill, and then like 300 feet uphill, to be flat honest. And up there at Frank's tank is the highest point of our hydrants, except for the well house. But it kind of goes way up. But then from Frank's tank, or where the calves get water, it's downhill the whole way to here. And I happen to know that 300 is right about there. Nope, 300 was just past. I had to add a splice right there. So we have 300 feet running downhill to here, so the pressure should still be good. So hang on a second. 50-foot hose, so we just added on too. Come on, baby. You can do it. Do it for the chickens. Hey, you know what? I'll take it. That's pretty good. Look, you put your thumb on it, and you know you got enough pressure. It's still building too. I can feel it. It's like, it's still bubbling. And I would really like all the chickens. Yep, that's it, right? All the chickens up. Hang on a minute. Excuse me. Lo siento. All the chickens are up, so now we don't have to worry about that door being open. Pop this off. Fill it up. Sweet, man. Alrighty. Now we're cooking. Even though it probably didn't hurt me to carry 5-gallon buckets over here. This will be way more convenient for Miss Ray. I do need to get her like a quick disconnect or a splitter or something so she don't have to mess with kinking it like this. Pretty slick. There you go. Now the pressure's built up. That's good, boys and girls. Cure just about anything too. Check it out. It's as if they know. Oh look, I painted this brown. You can see through it better. Ha! Joke's on you guys. I told you. Look how bad that sticks out. And then this brown looks real good. Look at it. But it did not help with filming through it. So now I just got to cover this up, and that won't be too hard. This wire is direct bury. I'll just kick a little bit on it so it don't come up on me. And then I'm gonna get the tractor and do the rest of this. Got about 400 feet to do, so I'll spare you.
Pop-Tarts is hard. It's Pop-Tarts, but...
Pop-Tarts are alive.
And Case can have it. There's, I got cherry Pop-Tarts. Are you filming? Oh my... I didn't even know you were filming.
I want you to look.
Strawberry blueberry. That does look nice.
Whew. Ray just got back from Sam's. Did a little quick snack pick up. I don't know what we're gonna do here. I need your guys' opinion. This is the electric and water. The electric's gonna go in the garage right there. There's gonna be something, I think it's called a whip, but it plugs into the bottom of that and it gives us like an outdoor outlet. And then that will run to the electrical box inside. It's okay that the electric end's there, but I don't want a hydrant just kind of sticking out 2 feet off the house. But I can put a hydrant right there. I don't know, but I've done it before. You can take a sledgehammer to the overfill, but that's like a foot thick.
Yeah, it's...
it ain't happening. It ain't happening.
What if, like, you put a hydrant here? The coop's there, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
We can put our garden beds right here. Right? I think this would be a good spot, I think.
Yeah. I almost think, though, that I need to, if we're going to put a hydrant here, I need to go ahead and trench this side of the wall, because you're just asking for somebody. We got 3 boys. You're just asking for somebody to come through in that 4-wheeler side by side and just rip that sucker off.
Yeah, so do it like maybe...
I think it needs to go that way.
Yeah.
Like a foot, even if, you know, good grief. I'd really like the water to be in the garage and have a hydrant coming off, like off the wall. That's what I'd really like.
Yeah, that would be nice.
So do your thing, guys. What can we do? Because if we can get the water in the garage, we can put a hydrant on the front of the house as well. She's 2 feet deep, electric, water. I scraped it pretty good. It's filled in. It's not going anywhere. And for the first time since January, we can drive through here without Daryl's help. So rest in peace, Daryl. They do not like the box blade at all. That's absolutely terrifying. But you know what's cool?
Of course it is.
I kid you not, I filled up the chicken water and it was as if they knew it was fresh water, like most animals do.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Oscar doesn't need a drink until you turn the water on.
Right.
Then he's been dying of thirst all day. Try your water right here.
I know, I saw it.
So this is,
I saw the video.
it's firm and it's in there a long ways.
Yeah.
But we're gonna put a run right here, something. Even if we only have a dozen birds, I'd like to come out another 12 by 12. And what I'm gonna do, the reason I had a V right here, like it makes a V. The reason I did that is there's nothing stopping us from putting wood posts right here and bringing that run out, if that makes sense. So when we do that, we'll build it accordingly so we can strap this to a 4x4 or a 2x4, like what I'm talking about. It's like one of those horizontals. So anyway, it'll firm up, but you know, nobody's gonna come over and hopefully bump it. I mean, Frank's is still intact, good grief. Yep, then I drug it all the way. But I did run out of electric wire. I didn't quite make it far enough. 300 feet was not enough. I need to do probably another 100 feet to make it reasonable for the corral to be the central point for some plug-ins and all that stuff. Somebody asked, and I'm just letting you guys know, it's all good. Somebody asked why we didn't go like around here. Well, when Jeremiah was building our, let me see if I can find some. When he was building our fencing, he sank his skid steer right here. And we couldn't figure out why until I came through with the tractor and tried to just lift the skid steer up and pull him out. There was a burn pile right here, a huge one. And they burned tires. And I mean, a lot of tires. There is so much wire right here. So there was no way I was gonna bring that trencher through here under any circumstances. So that's kind of unfortunate, but yeah, spare the equipment, so to speak. You know what I mean? It's all right here. I did a pretty good job burying it, but it still exists. But what we need to do is clean that mess up, things that won't burn, and then drag this and put some seed on it. What's up, girls? Oh, by the way, when you put a hydrant in, choose one of the buckets that you broke the handle on at some point, or you've made oblong because you yank it under the panel. Don't use your good buckets. Use your old ones. Hi, you guys got snacks yesterday. But Frank and Taters are growing steaks, so they got to eat every day. Franklin! Come on, Cal! I hear ya. Oh, see, now we're in trouble. Well, just make sure you don't come around the other side. Miss Bell will eat your food. Yep. You think Taters will go around the right side? Nope. Shh, shh. Come here, Bell. Bell, no. There we go. Come on, Taters. Come on, buddy. No, Bell, stay there. Remember, she gets cubes because these guys get to eat, but we don't want to do it every single day, okay? We need her to stay on hay and alternate just like the big herd. Excuse you, brother. You guys are gonna be mad because we ain't eating. We ain't eating. I didn't call you. I said Franklin. I'm sorry. I hollered for Franklin, not Fiona. Tipsy. Well, you guys should feel special other than you're on the menu. So if they only knew, it was kind of a win-lose. Oh man, you guys told everyone? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Uh-oh, look out, Wheezy. Listen, we're not getting food. I'm sorry, it's not today. I'm sorry. Yep. Lo siento. All right. What's up, buddy? I know. All right. Well, with that said, I'm going to get out of here so you guys can watch this. But I did go in the well house and look to see what we need for that whole home filter to be added to the cow's water line. But I'm actually going to put it in front of our pressure tank. Because I'm pretty sure, why are they all so mad? I'm pretty sure we're going to need it. So anyway, yep. Y'all go tell Mr. Lumna that Doss Farms said howdy. I sent him a message and said, hey, I'm going to talk about you in today's video. Do you mind? I'm sure he's a busy, busy man. You should seriously go watch that video, okay? Because here's the simple truth too. If you don't care about the water hydrant, he has Highlands. He and Gina have more Highlands. They got several Highlands. Go watch that dude fix his hydrant in a 6-foot hole. It's gotta be a 6-foot hole. It's gotta be. With that said, y'all be good. Don't work too hard. Don't make it weird. God bless. Deuces. What's that, bud?